Dan. We have Laisha Dubaisen, a fourth Dan, and Cindy Jacquet, a fourth Dan herself.
Punching attack, and respond in many, many different ways.
В программе команды «Впереди» ответы на нападение чужанцев.
We get started here. Our house announcer pointed out that Tsuki attacks, punching attacks, and how to absorb them.
Yes, ski. Up until now, we've seen shomenguchi, which is a blow to the sort of, if you like, a chop to the face. In this case, it's a punch, and we've seen grips and so on. Same principle applies of moving out of the way of the attack and then trying to capture its energy and probably reverse it back onto itself. And for a small person, this is a very, very important principle.
And this is interesting to see, because I'm sure you've heard the doubters of Aikido, and one of the main things that you'll hear is, okay, why wouldn't I just walk up and punch you in the face if you're doing this?
Well,
I believe is why.
This is why, yeah.
In this demonstration in particular, you have someone who is much smaller defending herself against someone
much larger.
Much larger, a physical mismatch were this to be happening in the real world, so to speak.
Well, if we see that one later, slow motion, you'll see this is a good example. That was a good example of energy being completely reversed back. While it's still going forward, it's already turning and going back. Yeah.
Now, is it particularly difficult in that case if you are the uke, but you are the larger person? You know, are you hesitant that you don't want to hurt who you're working with in that case?
I think that's always a concern, but I'm here to say that when you reach the point where you're training with someone who's very, very high ranked, you're not concerned about hurting them. You're concerned about not being hurt yourself, if it really goes, because basically what you put in is what you get back. So you have to be very good at falling.
When one begins in Aikido and their Aikido journey, is that the first technique that you would learn? Would you learn how to fall before anything else?
It used to be that you used to practice falling for 12 months, 2 years, before you learn any techniques. In the process of receiving the techniques, you were learning them. But falling is probably the most important thing, and in any martial art which involves falling, that would be the most important thing to start with. You're actually more likely to defend yourself against the planet by rolling than against someone who ever tries to attack you. In a bad situation.
We have demonstrated now Wim Van Gils, Cindy Jacquet, and Leatithea D.
So obviously in this situation you talked about care. Wim is very concerned he's not going to hurt her. But she's flowing, so he's still applying the technique and hard, but with care.
The three things that they said about what attracted them to Aikido, it was the philosophy